Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Fly Me to the Moon, and this is Apple's latest film coming your way in this romantic comedy mixed with some interesting fictional history about the Apollo 11 mission and trying to get to the moon. And this film's directed by Greg Berlanti, who previously did Love, Simon, and this time has a bigger scope for sure, and a certainly bigger name cast, as we're led by Scarlett Johansson, who plays marketing guru Kelly Jones, who's hired by mysterious government agent Mo Burkus, played by Woody Harrelson, to come in and try to really drum up PR for NASA. And she gets all up in the business of Cole Davis, Channing Tatum's character, who takes his job very seriously, and of course, they get a little smitten for each other. And who could blame them? It's Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum. But this film has an insane amount of charm to it. From start to finish, if I had to describe this film in one word, it's charming. And it has it in bucket loads. Because Johansson and Tatum have great chemistry together. The rom-com element of this, you really buy into. Seriously quick, because they have such a great banter between each other. And Scarlett Johansson's insanely charismatic in this film, off the charts. You have this whole sequence where they introduce her and her team with Anna Garcia's Ruby and Jim Rash as Lance, her director friend. And this whole sequence, Scarlett Johansson is insanely charming and a little seductive, and you really get a sense of who this woman is, and nothing's going to stop her. And that clash with Channing Tatum really creates great tension, and also a lot of sexual tension, for sure. And those elements really work in this film, but for a film that's 2 hours and 12 minutes, which I think this film could have been a little tighter, I feel like they don't give enough of the rom-com elements, because there's definitely long sections of the film where it gets really bogged down in the bigger story of the mission to get to the moon. But really, at the forefront of this movie, it's a rom-com with the backdrop of this historical fiction. Because, this is playing with conspiracy theories, because, they wind up having Kelly Jones trying to have a backup shooting a fake moon landing. And, of course, Jim Rash is the one who's directing it. And, of course, you have to throw in, we should have got Kubrick. Because, that was from the trailers. And that whole entire dynamic, that takes a little while to get into in the film, and it's fun, it's crazy, there's a lot of funny moments in this film. This is legitimately an extremely hilarious film throughout. I was laughing, the audience was laughing a lot with me during my screening that I got to go to tonight, before I was recording this, obviously. And this just had that infectious kind of energy about it. And I think Berlanti does a great job of bringing that charm and humor to the table. And it has a great energy about it. It's just propelling forward. So, I never was bored during the 2 hours and 12 minutes. It just feels like this might have been a little bit tighter. But it also is quite inspiring with the backdrop of this insane accomplishment. One of the most difficult things ever done by humanity is getting us up into space. And this film really has a respect for that, despite the fact that, it's leaning on conspiracy theories for laughs and for plot convenience and stuff like that. But it's one of those kinds of things where if you could get past the fact that they're just leveraging that for storytelling and really see the message of this as what an amazing accomplishment for humanity, it's pretty inspiring too. I think Harrelson is funny in support, but it's really Ray Romano who plays Channing Tatum's right-hand man, and Jim Rash, who are just endlessly funny in both their very unique kind of ways. Jim Rash being very flamboyant and bitchy and sassy, and Ray Romano being Ray Romano, awkward. And it works in both those ways, and I think Ray Romano has a moment in the film where he has this conversation with Scarlett Johansson. There's just so much emotion to it, too. And he has this great interaction at the end of the film with Channing Tatum, too. And Ray Romano is a surprise little MVP of this film and brings a lot of empathy and heart to the film. And I think one of the big elements that really works about this, there's the filmmaking. There's this one montage of them putting the rocket together that's such a great just like tracking shot, and this time-lapse thing. The running gag of a black cat is also a really funny element to this, but those little filmmaking elements, the costuming is off the charts. All the outfits that Scarlett Johansson wears are just like chef's kiss. But the score from Daniel Pemberton, which could have easily been this sappy, melodramatic kind of composition, has so much to it for being so simple and brings so much personality to the film. And Daniel Pemberton is one of the best composers working today because he just brings something dynamic and interesting to any score that he does, and it really works for this film too. In the end, it's a little overlong, it's a little cliched, but this movie is insanely charming. And at the end of the day, sure, long in the tooth, sure, predictable, but it'll charm your socks off. And that's what's so special about this film. But those are my thoughts on Fly Me to the Moon. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.